All right, fans, here we go, 2 out of 3 falls. Presenting to you in the 30-minute match on my left, a young man from Indianapolis at 230 pounds. Here is Dave Cox. As his opponent this evening from St. Louis, Missouri, weighing in at 241 pounds, Buddy the Killer Austin.
Killer Austin making his second appearance here at the Olympic Auditorium on Championship Wrestling. His opponent, Dave Cox, a nice young boy that I think has great prospects. He's going to be a fine wrestler. He needs a little bit of seasoning, but he's certainly coming along fine. I've noticed a big difference in him in the last couple of weeks. Whoa, and it's Cox across the, it's Killer Austin across the ring attacking Cox before he ever turns out of the corner with knees into the back. Our referee, Hank Metheny, boxcar Hank Metheny. Boxcar Hank Metheny used to be quite a heavyweight wrestler himself, and he's trying to talk to the Killer, but the Killer doesn't seem to want to talk to anybody, and it's the Killer walking into a couple of hard rights back into the ropes and a toss across the ring by Cox. Cox coming in with a drop kick, and out over the top ropes onto the apron goes the Killer. Yes, sir. This boy, it seemed like that attack right as soon as the bell rang kind of provoked this young boy, and he really stepped out. But he's in with a tough veteran. Last week we saw Cox we saw Killer Austin with Alberto Torres in one of the roughest, toughest, hard-fought matches we've seen here at the Olympic in many years. So Dave is in for a lot of trouble tonight as he takes on Killer Austin. Step over and a roll over and into an arm bar is Austin. Metheny walking around watching to see if there was a hand on the throat. This Austin keeps everybody busy. The fans, his opponent, the referee, and he stays busy himself. There's the hand into the throat. And it's the crowd yelling advice to Metheny, saying, come on, keep your eye on that Killer Austin. It's he's a real one. We have a very biased crowd here. I don't think the Killer Austin has a real fan in the whole arena tonight. They're all pulling for this youngster from Minneapolis. Boy, he's going to need all the help he can get, because he's in with a fellow that knows his business. Buddy Killer Austin. It's Cox walking into another problem with the Killer. I think that Cox is going to have to find out that his only way of handling the Killer is to just tie into him so fast and so hard he doesn't have a chance to pull any of his tricks. Now it's a Japanese short arm scissor by Austin. Here's a wrestling hold made famous a lot of years ago by a fellow by the name of Al Baffert. I don't know whether any of you people remember him or not, but Al was quite a wrestler around California and the West Coast some 35 years ago, and this was his favorite hold. He claimed that he learned this hold in the Orient and he used it. And ever since then, it's been called a Japanese short-arm scissor. You notice the arm is in the crook of Dave Cox's arm. It's supposed to stop the circulation of the blood, and if held long enough, will make the arm practically helpless and useless to a man. But it's Dave Cox working out of the short arm scissor into a toe hold on the killer. Cox continuing to hold the toe hold. Austin having his problems there. You know, tried to turn enough to get a hold of the head of Dave, but he couldn't quite make it. Incidentally, Dave Cox is no relation whatsoever to Ted Cox that wrestled on the West Coast here some years ago. Ted Cox was from Lodi, California. I understand he still lives around Lodi and is quite well known around there. Is quite a farmer around that part of the country, growing grapes and so forth. Ted was quite a wrestler in his day, a real wild and woolly fellow. I got a lot of scars to prove that he was tough, too. This boy's no relation of Ted whatsoever. But he is holding on to that toe hold. And Austin, once again, trying to get a hold of the head. He can't reach it. He gets a hold of the ear, then changes to the nose. And I believe that he's going to pull Dave back far enough that he can get a good hold on the head. Dave still holding on to that toe, pulling for all he's worth on it. Oh, and an elbow into the head of Cox makes him release the hold. It was a torturous one, though. Killer giving plenty of rest to that leg. Oh, and he comes in and he uses that other one. There's nothing wrong with that right foot and leg of the Killer's. He stomps his way into Cox. And the big foot into the chest. Another one into the chest. Ooh, and a right to the side of the jaw of Cox, and down he goes. Flip head on the ropes. And there once again is that thunderbolt elbow smash to the back of the head. Across the face with it. There's a good one for softening up the nose. And if you wonder why a man wears long tights, there's one good reason. You see him rip those rough, coarse wool tights across the eyes of Dave Cox. Killer very methodical now. He's working on his man. Reverse chin lock. Metheny calling for a break in the ropes. Once again, that elbow across the face of Cox. There's the neck breaker. And boy, did he give it to him. You notice that the Killer uses this a little bit different. Baron Leone used to use this neck breaker, but he used it quite different to what the Killer does. The Killer gets the man set, and he throws the whole weight of his body out. Watch him set this up again. Now watch him go out. There he goes. See that? He gets the full weight of the body into it. knee across the throat. The man is helpless, but Austin once again gives him the knee across the throat. Ooh, and there's that right cross to the chin again. Into the rope, and a knee into the midsection. Looks like the killer is just trying to torture the young boy right now. Picks him up in a giant slam. Goes up onto the rope. And off across the chest and all. That'll be all, I'm sure, for Dave Cox in the first fall of this, the semi-main event. Championship Wrestling coming to you from the Olympic Auditorium in Los Angeles. And the first fall goes to Killer Austin. Now we're waiting for our ring announcer, Jimmy Lennon, to give us the time of the fall, and here he is, and let's see what the time of the fall was.
All right, fans, 10 minutes, 23 seconds, flying knee drop and a body press, the fall to Buddy the Killer Austin.
Now we're just about ready for the start of the second fall. Referee Hank Metheny pushing Austin back to his corner. There's the whistle and the bell, and we're off in the second fall of this, the semi-main event on Championship Wrestling. If you tuned in late with us, this is the semi-main event, a match between Killer Austin in the long black trunks, his opponent from Minneapolis, Minnesota, Dave Cox. Young wrestler just lost the first fall to the Killer with a series of neck breakers, body slams, and a jump off of the top rope. And the Killer goes to work fast in this, the second fall. Oh, and young Cox throws the arms off of the Killer. Comes in with his own both hands into the throat of the Killer. Metheny walks in, tells him to break it up. He does break it up, but he goes right back in, up on top of the first rope and choking once again. And the Killer's down on the floor, and Dave follows him right to the floor. Well, this is a change of events. The Killer coming out strong at the bell, but now it's young Dave Cox taking over in full command as he has the Killer down in the corner. And now it's the Killer coming back with punches to the side of the head and the stomach. Another one to the side of the head. Ooh, and there was one that had all of the shoulders behind it because he came down full with it. A few well-planted number 13 feet into the chest and the head of Dave Cox, bound to soften him up a little. And the elbow into the side of the head. Metheny reading the riot act to the Killer. Tell him to break when I tell you to break. These matches are all sanctioned by WWA, Worldwide Wrestling Associates. Affiliates that completely circle the globe. The only wrestling association with membership completely around the world. And week to week, we'll bring the big names of wrestling from all parts of the world to you. Off into the ropes and a knee into the midsection by the Killer. Killer Austin, one of the top-rated wrestlers in the country. And here's his neck breaker again, another version of it. And he lifts him up, refuses to beat him. Once again, oh, there was a beautiful shot of it. The head driven right into the mat, and I believe that's going to be all. Yes, that's all for young Dave Cox, and it's Killer Austin taking the semi-main event in 2 straight falls. Here's a boy I think you're going to hear a lot of in the next few years, Killer Austin. I'm not speaking just alone of this particular show, but you keep your eye on this boy. He's top rated. Here's Jimmy Lennon with the time.
Ladies and gentlemen, 4 minutes, 35 seconds with the Austin version of a pile driver and the winner of the event, Buddy the Killer Austin.
We'll be back to his dressing room interviews in just a moment.